Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube. Today we're talking about having your Mars in Gemini. Oh my God. I have waited to do this one because Mars in Gemini energy is so interesting, more so sexually, and I will go deep, on that subject in a bit. But we are going to get onto their motivation, their temperament first. So, what is your Mars? Your Mars is your reactions to things. It's your motivation. It's your drive. It's your sexuality. Mars is the ruler of Aries. Aries is home to the first house. Mars is the cardinal planet. It's the fiery planet. And Gemini is a mutable sign. Gemini is a mutable sign. Gemini's element is air. Gemini is home to the third house on the natal chart. Gemini is the co-ruler to Mars. Virgo is the main ruler. The third house represents local trips, short trips up the road, or the third house represents your communication. It's how you process information, your first educational experiences when you're really young, in primary school. It's Mars in Gemini, people. You guys, oh my gosh, listen, I have got into so many arguments with Mars in Gemini people, but it's crazy. Like, I'm an Aries and I'm a Gemini rising. So when I get into arguments with you guys seem to get over it very, very quickly. And it's almost like you are notorious for winding people up. It's just what you do. You want to wind people up and make them feel shit quickly, but you're quickly over it. And there's this no regret feeling that you guys carry, like no regrets. And I love that because I feel like people take things way too seriously sometimes. It's not that deep. And having your Mars in Gemini, you don't take things that deep. You wind people up for fun. You want to make jokes and laugh at people and stuff. And that's what I do. I'm a Gemini rising, a Mercury ruled. I'm an Aries sun. I don't take things too serious. And you guys are notorious for doing that, which makes you guys fun. Also, when you have your Mars in Gemini, you guys are so friendly to people. Obviously, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is all about communication and speaking, and having it in air, it makes you naturally want to speak to people, or even likable to begin with, because Gemini, we know about Gemini energy, okay? But people really gravitate towards you and you really like speaking to people. Like, I've got a friend and I will go deep and I will expose his Mars in a bit, right? But he does deliveries, and I listen to him on the phone. When I'm on the phone to him, speak to the people that he's delivering the parcels to, and he's so friendly. And he's also a Libra, so he loves speaking, communicating, and building networks and stuff, and he really values communication. Now, a lot of people will say, right, Mars and Gemini, they talk a lot. I don't find so. I've met quite a few Mars and Gemini people and I love them, okay? And I don't feel like they talk a lot. However, when they are speaking to you, they do seem to have this thing of, I'm more intelligent than you. I'm superior. My intelligence is superior to yours. And I get that a lot with Mars and Gemini people. Like, I've got a friend who's in prison. He's a Sag sun. His Mars is in Gemini, and he is a Scorpio rising. And I can talk to him about astrology, spirituality all day long. And he will talk to me like he knows everything about it and he's never studied it in his life. But I can't advise him on something because he obviously is a Gemini Mars. He knows way too much about everything anyway, and it's bullshit unless he studied it. I don't understand that logic, but Mars and Gemini people do have this thing where they do study a lot of different things because they like variation. They like learning as well. They enjoy learning, but because they've learned everything, they get this feeling of, okay, I know so much, so I must be way more intelligent than you. My opinion weighs in more than yours does. And this is where I get mad at them, because I have my Jupiter in the first house. Don't fuck with my knowledge. Don't fuck with my knowledge, okay? I argue with them a lot, but we're quickly over it like it never happened anyway. That's what I love about them. Now, I've got another friend who has his Jupiter in the first house as well, in his first house, and he has his Mars in Gemini, and he absolutely loves learning, loves it. And if I said to him, because he knows that I'm quite knowledgeable, so he values what I say. So if I said to him, Ra, you know, this and that, X equals Y, would I don't know, right? But if I said that, he will take it for gospel and he will start learning about it himself, because it's the Jupiter in the first house that makes you, you know, gives you that Sagittarius feeling of wanting and yearning to learn a lot more. Now, the good thing is about having this placement, because they are Mercury ruled, right? You guys value intelligence, intellect. You are amazing at researching into things. You guys love reading books and stimulating your mind. And this is what makes you masters or jack of all trades, because you love learning different things, and it's about variation as well, and keeping your mind stimulated and being very busy. Now, even me being a Gemini rising, like, I do definitely relate to this, right? Which is, for example, if my phone rings and, you know, I'm not doing anything but watching the telly, my phone rings, I answer, and, you know, I literally go and pick up my iPad and I start playing games on the iPad whilst I'm on the phone. And I do this because I cannot just be on the phone. I have to be doing multiple things. And what it is, it's almost like I don't know, I get bored. I'm not just speaking to people on the phone, but I have to be doing other things whilst I'm on the phone. And even my Mars and Gemini friend who's in prison, you know, he's got a phone, by the way, okay? And what he does is, I will hear him scrolling, because he's got some old ass phones. You can hear everything on there. I will hear him scrolling through Instagram while he's on the phone to me. And I'm like, you're on Instagram, aren't you? Starts laughing, typical Sagittarian laugh. And you know, it's crazy. We just like to be busy because we are very easily bored. So you need to keep your mind stimulated, or even your hands. And the funny thing is, with Gemini, you guys are about the hands. Gemini is about the hands. So when you have your Mars in Gemini, you have to be doing something with the hands if your mind is doing something else. If you're on the phone, if someone's talking to you, you've got to be, you know, doing different things. Or even, I've mentioned this so many times in my Gemini videos, right? And it's Restless Leg Syndrome. Don't know if you guys have just sat down and you're chilling, just texting on your phone, but your leg just keeps moving. Your leg is just moving, and it gives you a form of comfort as well, because every sign has a comfort or a need. And you guys like to feel like you are multitasking and doing different things, and you're very good at that. But it can very much frustrate others, because they seem to think that, okay, you know, you can't be paying attention to me because you're doing other things. And I get annoyed by that when other people are doing it, but I do it to others. I'm not very good at compromising in that kind of way. Right, Mars and Gemini's temperament. Okay, because you are Mercury ruled, when it comes to how you are communicating with people and you're angry, you guys can get nasty, like really angry and horrible, and it can be scary, but you guys are over it in a matter of minutes, like it never happened. And all it takes is for someone to just communicate with you and be gentle with you, and you're fine. But when someone's really angry and frustrated with you, and we've also got to look, because you are Mercury, well, we've got to look at where the Mercury, what sign the Mercury is in, where it's placed. For example, if the Mercury is next to the Sun, if the Mercury is in Aries, if the Mercury is in a fiery sign, okay, this would definitely contribute to someone having a nasty mouth. I've mentioned this enough times in my Mars series, but when you mix Gemini with Aries, woo, oh, you know, a very different kind of character comes out, okay? And when your Mars is in Gemini, your Mercury is in Aries, maybe you've got Aries Sun, Mercury conjunct the Sun, you are going to have this aggressive streak to you, and you're going to be very, your mouth's going to be dirty. Very, not the way in which you speak to people can come across as very rude, very aggressive, and very direct. If you've got Mars in the third house as well. Mars in the third house can also contribute to your aggressive tendencies towards others. And you may not even feel like, oh, I'm not being horrible or aggressive, but other people will feel like you are. That's just how it works. But I've also noticed that with Mars and Gemini, they like to wind people up. And I've had a lot of arguments with these people, but I'm over it. And they're over it in a matter of minutes as well, which is what makes makes things easier. Because when you fall out with them, you don't fall out forever. Like, it's not like a Mars and Scorpio thing that I want to cut to you and I would never speak to you ever again. You know, it's a very like flighty thing. Like, they don't care if they speak to you again or not. You know, depending on if they got Cancer energy, yeah, maybe it would really hurt them and they want to, you know, resolve things. Yeah, that makes a difference. But I do find when your Mars is in Cancer, when your Mars is in Gemini, and you have a lot of air elements, you don't really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, can we talk about sex? Oh my God, this is the most important thing when it comes to Mars and Gemini people, okay? Oh my God, I'm going to speak about my own personal experience with these people. And Mars and Gemini is curious. It's curiosity. Gemini is curiosity. And they are anything goes in the bedroom. They are go with the flow in the bedroom. There was this guy that I was having casual sex with. And he's a Libra. And you know, Libras are not the type to like initiate sex or let me jump onto you kind of style, right? And his Mars was in we have a lot of trining planets as well, but there's more. I always wondered, why is the sex so like free? I feel very sexually liberated and free with him. And then I looked at his chart and I see, okay, it's that Mars in Gemini, honey, that fruitful sex. And what it is with these people, they tend to, Mars and Gemini people are just very free in the bedroom. They are down for anything. Like, they don't hold back. And because they are also all about the hands, you know, I've had lots of foot rubs by them. They love touching and feeling you and stimulating the senses in their hands and giving you back rubs, and get the oils up for these people, and they will rub you down. And they love being rubbed up as well, you know, because when you have your Mars in the 8th house, it just adds to the sexual energy, you know. Mars in the 8th house would make you someone who talks a lot during sex, or you like dirty. You know, when someone's saying dirty things in your ear and you're turned on by that, you like shit like that. And you can also be someone who likes someone saying nasty shit to you, calling you all types of bitches and shit, you know, busting open for a real, you know, like, you like shit like that. Just the kind of sex that is just free, sprawled out, and just anyhow, like, you love, like, I find Mars in the 8th house energy as well. These people are very, very sexual. And Mars in the 8th house is high libido, very sexual. And having it in Gemini, that makes you someone who likes to explore sex a lot in the bedroom. And as we know, Sagittarius is the opposite to Gemini. We know Sagittarius, home to the 9th house, they're all about exploring. But when your Mars is in Gemini, you explore with what's in front of you, okay? Sagittarius explores with what they want to, all around, everywhere. Gemini explores with what's in front of them, and these are the people, right, that, and it's so weird because with this guy that I was with this guy, okay, I asked him out of curiosity, because I just wanted to see how fruity he really was, because I'm curious, right? But he's curious, okay? And I said to him, like, would you ever go to a sex party? He's like, no. I was like, really? Because would you come with me? And he's like, yeah, I would. So my levels of, like, we know about Mars in Aquarius, it's got its kinks, right? But when you mix it with the Mars in Gemini is down to do the weird stuff that other people would look at like, why would you do that? and they would love to go to sex parties, or with the Mars in Aquarius, they would love to. They like risky sex as well, risque. You know, anything that's different in the bedroom. You know, they would. This is why the Mars in Aquarius and Mars in Gemini work, because Mars in Aquarius likes kinky stuff, and Mars in Gemini is open to explore all of that. And I think I've had issues with Mars and Virgos in the bedroom, because they're very much restricted in what they want to do. And when your Mars is in Gemini, you know, you need to have the variation. You need to be doing different things, and it creates a conflict in a sense, you know. So yeah, that's my video of Mars in Gemini. I hope you guys have thoroughly enjoyed it. I will see you on the next one, people. Take care.